Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Finish Fans, where today we're taking a look at two early adventures, the Ravelli Conspiracy and the Forsaken. One what's become very timely as it's one of the book club picks, which is the Forsaken, but we like to tie in to the recent Big Finish catalogue as we've picked a first and second Doctor as we begin the relaunch with the first Doctor, The Outlaws, and we have the second Doctor Companion Chronicles box set. So we like to connect things very loosely.
Yeah, it's
Once
sort of like
again,
a.
you'll go
Oh,
on.
sorry, I've interrupted my own introduction, but yeah, it's sort of like a beginning and an ending in this month, April, isn't it? Because
It is,
it
yeah.
seems like the Companion Chronicles are now going to be coming to an end once again. A sort of like a much prolonged end because this set has been delayed 2 years, maybe more. I don't.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fair
At
while.
least two.
Yeah, so and then a new beginning for the first Doctor with Stephen Noonan stepping into the role. And so for this one, we chose the Ravelli Conspiracy ourselves, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Because it was one we really enjoyed at the time and were itching to go back to. But for Second Doctor, we thought we'd put the decision up to you guys. So Ben put up a poll out on Twitter of 4 stories: the Wreck of the World, Forsaken, obviously, and what were the other 2? Yes Men, was it?
Yes, man,
And
yeah. The Outliers. Was it?
Outliers. There we go. And ended up being a tie between Wreck of the World and Forsaken. So 2 more polls went out, one on Twitter, one on YouTube.
YouTube.
If you only saw the Twitter one, you probably thought, didn't the Wreck of the World win that? And
Yeah.
it did over on Twitter, but on YouTube, Forsaken got a lot more votes. So totaled up, the Forsaken was the winner in the end. So we have dived back into that, and here we are reviewing it for your pleasure. So
And
yeah,
it's worked out
I'm
well.
Luke, by the way. I
Hello,
interrupted
Luke.
my introduction earlier. Hello,
There he
everyone.
is. There he is. So yeah, it's worked out quite well, you guys picking the Forsaken, as it's the Big Finish April book club. So you can currently get it for £2.99. And I've left a link in the description below if you want to pick it up and you're interested from what we say about it. When you can, hop it over.
Yeah, definitely
Spoilers.
worth it.
Yeah,
£2.99.
I was gonna say spoilers. It's worth £2. Definitely worth
Yeah,
it.
and also it's not available physical now. That's
I
one
was
of the early
shocked.
adventures that's gone out of print. Yeah.
I'm surprised with what's gone out of print now. Really,
Mm.
I'm like, okay, the
I
catalogue is
know.
depleting.
Yeah, Domain of the Void has, and Forsaken. Have any other early adventures gone yet?
I think maybe a couple from series 1. Maybe I
Yeah,
can't say I'm
maybe.
an expert on it, but we'll have to see.
Perhaps Bounty of Series. Or is it Keres? Bounty of Keres?
I think it's Bounty of Ceres. Bounty of
Ceres.
Ceres, yeah.
Yeah. It's one I don't have that one, so I don't know quite how it's said in the story.
Yeah, Bounty of Ceres, I think, from memory. So yeah, while we're waiting for a few people to join, what have you been doing? How have you been occupying yourself since our last little stream?
Just same old, really. Been diving back into Daredevil over on Disney Plus now that it's up there. I think, yeah, mentioned that last time. I'm now towards the end of the 2nd season already, so it has been
flying through.
a lot of fun. I think the 2nd season was one that I had less fond memories of, but I'm really enjoying so far. I think it's certainly not up to the heights of series 1, but it's nowhere near as bad as I remember it being. So I'm having a good time with that. And yeah, looking forward to diving into season 3 eventually, because I remember that being the strongest. So it's going to be interesting to see whether season 1 or season 3 ends up taking the top spot for me this time round. But yeah, other than that, diving back into Big Finish, I enjoyed this early adventure re-listen so much that I was in the mood for some more Second Doctor. So I went back to Companion Chronicles Volume 2 for the Iron Maid, the 3rd story in that set, with Jamie, Zoe, as they go into, I think, 13th or 14th century France, where some woman in the church has been getting strange visions, and World War II, World War II, I think it is. It might be World War One, but one of those 2 era, like, weapons and tanks have sort of started to become unearthed in the nearby. So it's very atmospheric. There's like talks of mist coming down in the first part. And so you've got like that very War Games image of the trio walking through these farm fields as the mist engulfs around them. Yeah, it's great stuff so far, that one. Looking forward to diving into part 2 sometime. But yeah, for now, we've got 2 other black and white stories to talk about. So how about you, Ben? How have you been occupying yourself?
I caught that there virus, didn't I? So that's been me for the past week in isolation.
Yeah, it's still out there, isn't it?
It's still out there.
You might think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting more and more in it now, really. People aren't with isolation gone, so it's crazy. But for the meantime, it's good for us Doctor Who fans because we never leave the house anyway, so it's fine. We
get an excuse this time.
We get an excuse to stay in our rooms and watch and listen to Doctor Who. But yeah, I've done a fair bit of listening to our review stories, which we're sure we'll talk about later.
How much snow did you get where you are, by the way, recently?
We had a fair bit, but it never stuck. We had like a scattering, but it come down pretty thick and fast, and we had like freak weather, and I thought I was in Claws of Axos because 1 minute it'd be sunny, and then next minute it'd be like snowing and hail. I'm like, what are the Axons on their way? I don't know.
Yeah, I think because the ground wasn't wet, so I think it must have been where it had been warmed up so much over the days before. It was just too warm for it to settle because the ground like retains the heat for quite a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bizarre having the freak little flurry of it.
I mean, that's Britain for you. That's Britain for you.
That's true. We were just having our own mini heat wave, weren't we? Almost, and then that came along.
There's no in between, though, is it? We've technically had our summer. Last week was our summer. Now we're in snow.
Now we're getting rainstorms all the time. It seems.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, other than that, just having a bit of Mind of the Hodiak, which you can see the beginnings of Russell, and it'd be interesting to see how it compares to RTD2, which is coming very soon, which is we're getting ever so closer to. It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. Hello, Stylish One there in the chat, and hello, DW Videos and Reviews has a quick question here. I won John Pertwee's moon boots and dinner suits on eBay for 50 quid, original print. Is it worth it, Ben?
That's John Pertwee. Of course, it's worth it, Lennon. You gotta get it. And it's a good book from memory. Yeah, having John Pertwee having a cup of tea with a prostitute. What more? I think that book just sells it alone from that one little story. So, if you want to read about John Pertwee and a prostitute having a cup of tea, Moon Boots and Dinner Suits is the book for you.
There you go.
Yeah. Should we talk about the little trailer that dropped yesterday? Since that's
which little trailer would that be then?
The one with the Sea Friends, the Sea Boys.
The legend of them.
The Legend of the Sea Boys.
Yeah.
After a couple of images dropping a few weeks ago, now we've got the trailer.
Got that very nice poster. They revealed the air date of it, and it was just the flag with the Sea Devil and crossbones, or like cross swords, isn't it? No, that was a very nice little bit.
It's really simple, but it works so well. I really like it.
Yeah, it very clearly tells you what this story is. I think that's something that a lot of Chibnall marketing hasn't done too well, especially with like Resolution, how they hid the Dalek from that for ages and such, even though everyone knew there was going to be a Dalek in it. It's nice to have them be quite upfront with its Sea Devils.
And they're looking pretty good in the trailer. Looking pretty good.
Yeah. We've got a whole gang of them on the ship, haven't we?
Yeah, I was hoping it would be like a group, and we've got pirate Sea Devils. I mean, the Doctor Who magazine cover, I was like, yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm very excited.
Yeah, some all right CGI as well. Like some shots do look a bit iffy, mainly when it's got people involved and you've got like the rotoscoped background and such. Like there's one shot of Dan and a couple of other crewmates on a ship that you can very much tell it's done in a studio. It just has a lot of the lighting doesn't always be all right. But then you've got shots like the TARDIS underwater The fish around the lamp, that's beautiful stuff. So,
I mean, is the Merker back? Is it the Merker?
I don't know. It'll be weird if it is, because you've got such a faithful Sea Devil redesign, and then the Merker's just something completely different this time around.
I mean, I saw somebody tweet, could it be a Drashig? And I was like, I kind of see it.
Yeah,
with like the eyes.
It does look more like a Drashig than a Merker, really. But or maybe a Plasiosaurus.
It could be. We could have it could be in a miniscope.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that'd be great. But it's looking. I don't want to get too carried away, but I'm really excited for it. I really am.
It does sort of have that Asian look to it. The creature, I suppose, Merker, if we call it that. Like the arches of as it goes in and out of the water, almost like a giant serpent type thing. Yeah, that serpent look. Yeah. I'm mainly leaning on my Avatar: The Last Airbender knowledge here, to be honest.
There you go. There you go.
What is it? The thing that guards the serpent's pass. If anyone's watched that show, know what I'm on about there.
Yeah, it's looking promising, and there's some interesting points that obviously is the last time the 13th Doctor's gonna have fun. I'm like, isn't that every penultimate story?
I don't know.
I mean,
I think John Pertwee was having a lot of fun in Planet of the Spiders, getting to do all that chase scene.
So yeah, strange one. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm sure we'll do something covering Legend of the Sea Devils in the future. But yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Yes, but has the runtime been revealed yet?
I think it's an hour.
Yeah, probably. It's just
I think it's an hour. And then it will just be the centenary left then. I wonder if we get any glimpses of that after Legend of the Sea Devils. Or didn't it be too soon?
Probably not too soon, to be fair, because they have already filmed it all ages ago. It's been in the can for a while. So I think there's a fair chance that it'll be at the end there. I wasn't expecting anything for the Easter special at the end of Eve of the Daleks. So
I mean, that's the thing with like the Chibnall era. It doesn't give you anything. You kind of have low expectations about getting information about the next set of stories. So it is one of those, isn't it? Really.
Like we didn't know this date until a couple of days ago officially. Like we all assumed it would be Easter. We all narrowed it down to the 17th, but it wasn't officially revealed until a couple of days ago. So
yeah, it wasn't like a big groundbreaking thing. Oh, it is Easter Sunday. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because I always thought it would be since everyone else said it. It was like, okay, it makes sense for it to be then. I think it's rumored to be 7 o'clock as well. So nice standard Doctor Who time.
Yeah. It's weird after Flux being this massive event, now having this more basic story be the standalone one. Like we're used to the specials being the big event things, aren't we?
But it almost seems like it could tie into Flux because you've got sort of that thing going on with the stars in the trailer.
Is that? Are people theorizing that then?
I this is just my pure speculation on this, to be honest. Because it goes, you unleash something, and then you see all the stars move. I'm like, could that be ripples from Flux? Maybe, I don't know, or it could be to do with the Centenary. I don't know what it could be, but that's just me trying to put 2 and 2 together.
What are people in the chat having to say about this? Stylish One says the trailer looks good, but I can't get excited for it. I loved Flux was let down by Eve. It seems like Chibnall's arc-related episodes, half of Series 12 Flux, but not his standalone episodes. Yeah, that's understandable. I can't say I'm getting my hopes up too high for this one because it's many times better and many times shy of the Chibnall era.
I'm sure he'll do great with Sea Devils because he's done good bringing back classic monsters. So I'm sure he'll do them justice.
Back to the Silurians 2-parter he did.
That'd be an interesting one to
Hungry
compare
Earth, Cold Blood. Yeah, gonna have a rewatch of that before we get around to this, since that's a Chibnall one. I think Warriors of the Deep as well. I need to go back to because it's been quite a while. Sea Devils and Silurians. I'm familiar enough with those two stories. I think you have to specify that you talk about the stories, don't you?
Yeah.
I think the Sea Devils do call themselves Sea Devils, or at least the Silurians call them Sea Devils in Warriors of the Deep, don't they?
Yeah, I just remember somebody did a tweet going, "All right, you land bastards."
Yeah, I saw someone pointing
like,
out that it was weird that the 13th Doctor was calling them a slur, but like they've sort of, it's the thing with a lot of those early ones, the same with Ice Warriors. They're named by human characters, but then by their next appearance,
it's
because they were, it's what they are called, because you can't really call them anything else now.
Yeah.
Because they were earlier planned as like a one-off villain, aren't they? But then they're popular enough, so back they come.
Yeah, because you're not going to like individually name them. Because nobody remembers all 3 Silurians from like Warriors of the Deep.
No. I think like Iktar, isn't it? And then I can't remember.
Iktar, Skibbus, Tarpok. I only remember that because of the figures now.
Yeah, so I didn't even get the figures, and that's the only reason I remember Iktar.
Yeah.
So, it's a funny one.
I'm not too keen on the Sea Devil voice heard in the trailer. It doesn't sound like it's Nick Briggs. It doesn't sound like it's up.
Which I'm kind of down for, because I think, especially with us and Big Finish, we pick up on his voice so easily now.
Yes, yeah.
Like, no matter how hard he could try to disguise it, it's just something instantly recognizable, and you're no longer listening to that monster voice. You're listening to Nick Briggs do an impression of it. And I mean, he's always very good with them, but at the same time,
I feel like his Sea Devil's pretty. I wouldn't say the Sea Devils is one of his better ones. But I'm hoping to do a video in a couple of weeks' time, like looking at the 2 Big Finish Sea Devil stories in like one video.
Yeah, the Ice Warrior voices, he does tend to vary. Like particularly Ice Lords, I think sometimes you get a really solid one, and then sometimes you get one that just sounds like Nick Briggs.
Yeah, you got that in the Paladin box set, because like a really good strong one. And then I think the second story was like, oh, kind of lost it there.
Yeah, but I think it was like deliberate of him to try and make them both sound different, which is fair enough. But then, you lose something along with that. Not that they had too big a part to play in the Paladin box set, so it wasn't really.
There wasn't a big thing, but the first Ice Lords definitely had it.
Yeah, he was a great character. Yeah. Greetings, Pain Cyberman.
Hello. What else is going on in the chat?
Doctor Who videos and reviews says never commenting, but always popping on these streams. Thank you for commenting for the first time, and thank you for always joining us.
If you're a lurker, then you're very welcome to lurk. We appreciate you taking your time out of your day to just listen to us waffle about Doctor Who. But yeah. Crazy.
So I just want to ask for recommendations from the Lost Stories sale and the Monk sale, aka the best Big Finish sale, since it is my favourite original Big Finish incarnation of any Time Lord.
Yeah. I get. I don't know if I can recommend anything from the Monk sale, to be honest.
Well, not even the Graham Garden ones.
Oh, the Graham Garden. Yeah, I mean, Secret History. That was a good. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a Google now, because I want to make sure.
Yeah, I think it's the one.
Yeah, is it till tonight?
He's even got his own collection page now. The Monk collection.
So it's just. Is it just the CD ones on sale for the Lost Stories? Then is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it is actually. That's what that sale is, isn't
it? I would recommend the Elite, as that's a really good Davison story. The Guardians of Prophecy, that's a really good one. Lord's Red Planet, I think that's an interesting one. Maybe because it was one of my first Big Finishes I've got a bit of a soft spot for. And of course, the Mega. I like that one a lot. Animal's a good one, actually, especially if you're getting the Bambera set. Remember Animal being the best of the the season 27 ones.
Yeah.
And then let's have a quick look at the monk sale, shall we?
Funnily enough, one of the ones that jumps out the most from the monk sale isn't even a monk story. Rise of the New Humans and the Tyrants of Logic for Doctor Adventures Volume 4. Mainly for Tyrants of Logic there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I think Subterfuge wasn't too bad. The Seventh Doctor and Churchill story.
That's a story I forget exists, to be honest.
I think
it's that sort of pre-pandemic one, so you sort of lose track of where you are.
Yeah, it did come out just before the pandemic, March, wasn't it?
Let's go on collection.
And I think that was also sort of overshadowed by Third Doctor and Churchill 2 months later in Third Doctor Volume 6.
I'd say the Lucy Miller stuff, that's worth it because they're good. Secret History, we liked that one. Yeah, I've not listened to any. I mean, I'm interested to get How to Win Planets and Influence People because I think, is it a season 12?
Yeah, it is.
So that'll be an interesting one. May pick that one up.
Yeah, only £1.50. Can't go too wrong there.
Can't go too wrong.
But can you cope with listening to Rufus Hound for half an hour with no other voices to break it up?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Listen to the Elite, bleak and fantastic stuff. Yeah, the Elite, recommend it. It's a nice bleak one. As for my moon boots and dinner suits number, I have no idea what number mine is, I'll be honest. Fake fan there.
Stardish One says, Alex McQueen is my favourite master ever, but I love the monk slightly more, though I've heard more Rufus Hound stories. I think Rufus Hound might have done more stories as the monk than Alex McQueen as the master now, to be fair.
Probably has, especially this year.
I think, certainly after this month's done, and we've got Companion Chronicles and Outlaws. And then Painside Man agrees, saying, the moment I heard McQueen in Dark Eyes and Masterful, I just knew this is it. This is the master. Yeah. It's a shame that he's sort of been... Because Big Finish created him as their own original master. And then the new series license came along and they got about 5 new masters to play with. And so he's been a bit forgotten under the Masterful, sadly.
Yeah, you'd think he'd have a box set to himself, to be honest. Well, unless you count Unit Dominion, but give him his own box set.
Yeah. Be nice to get him with the 8th Doctor Adventures relaunch.
I mean, that would be a good one to kickstart the series. Well, relaunch for McGann. Yeah. I mean, who knows? He could be in Stranded 4, I hope.
Yeah, maybe a little cameo there.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be cool. Because he wasn't in Ravenous 4, was he? No.
Yeah. It was Jacoby, Beavers, Gomez, and Roberts.
Are you looking forward to the Game of Thrones prequel? Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. Matt Smith should be good.
In a more convincing wig.
Yeah. Better wig than Time of the Doctor. Yeah.
Should we dive into some Big Finish news now?
Yeah, let's dive into the news and then we'll do a bit of reviews and then we'll go back to the chat.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of news, which is nice. If I can load the page wherever that's gone.
The news is missing.
I mean, I've loaded the page, but it's just StreamYard ain't loading it. So it's cool. It's all fine. It's all good. This is fine. I haven't done the stream in over a week and forgot how to do everything. Where is it? There we go. News.
No, I know. Yeah. Oh, is it here? There we go. It's fine.
There we are. There you go.
I mean, not Doctor Who, but Dorian Gray's getting a vinyl.
Limited to 500.
Yeah, which also is promising sign for vinyls at Big Finish. Because this is their first non-Doctor Who one, so I imagine there'll be more to come after 9th Doctor Series 2 in some form or another.
Are you going to pick it up?
Nah.
Are you? No. I mean, Dorian Gray's been one of those ranges where I should get into it, I've got the first story on my phone downloaded because they give like the first episode away for free. And like Kai and James speak a lot about Dorian Gray, and I feel like I should get into it, but again, it's money.
Yeah, I feel like I'm saving money by not touching it. Really, I've no doubts that it is high quality, but I'm okay without it. I'm okay without that obsession.
Yeah, there's more than enough to keep us occupied without diving into any more.
Yeah, I feel like I'm spending too much as it is.
Yep, especially with this recent announcement, which is for Dr. Face's The Emancipation of the Daleks, which is Jonathan Morris, part of the audio novels range, read by Dan Starkey, not Jacob Dudman. So this is a bit of a little plot twist.
I think Dan Starkey's done a lot of the new series novel readings, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, especially for the BBC stuff. Are you tempted by this one?
Maybe. I'm not too. It's not jumping out at me like Scourge Decipherment did. I skipped out on Watchers. Again, it's all like down to the reader mainly. But I'll have to listen to iComedian since I've got that for free technically, and see how I feel about Dan Starkey as a reader first.
I mean, I did get excited when I saw the cover. I was like, "Oh my god, have we got Pearl Mackie reading it?" And I was like, "Oh, no offense to Dan Starkey, I'm sure he did a brilliant job." But there was a part of me going, "Oh my god, is it Pearl Mackie?"
Yeah. It's weird that it's meant to be Bill visiting 20 years from the future, and yet she's wearing the exact same clothes on the cover.
Hey, she's a fashionista. She knows what works for her. She knows what's good for her. Cool. But yeah, for me, it's interesting that we're getting the Daleks again. Daleks double in a row in the Watchers and Emancipation of the Daleks. Maybe that's their way of trying to get people to buy and support the range, really.
Yeah, it does sort of worry me a bit about the audio novels that they seem to need that as an extra draw. Like, I get it to start with the Cybermen, but then after that, it sort of feels like they're maybe leaning into established enemies a bit too much. But at the same time, I'm glad we're getting season 12 story with the Daleks. I think they suit that because we only got a little tease in the pilot, didn't we?
Yeah.
So now to fully explore that is good. And with weird Dalek drone ball things, which look like a toy from the 2000s.
I swear they did like a Top Trumps thing like it.
Yeah, there's definitely something it reminds me of, but I can't think of what.
It would have been. I saw somebody do like an edit of like the Paradigm Daleks. I was like, oh, that would have been a good one. That would have been a quarter of like Paradigm Daleks. But I think I'm gonna get this. Because I don't know if you've read it, but Plague City is by Jonathan Morris.
Oh yeah,
and that was probably my favorite of the 3 series 10 books, and he just got the series 10 tone perfectly, like the characterization. And there's something about that TARDIS team what just probably works so much better in expanded media.
And strange that Nardole isn't mentioned, actually.
He probably have like a little brief moment.
I think he's definitely going to be in it in some capacity.
But I'm definitely gonna pick this one up because I'm a sucker for series 10.
I think it's got like Monk trilogy vibes in a way with this rewriting of reality, isn't it? The Daleks are now ruling Earth, but hopefully done a bit better than the final part of that trilogy. What was the title? Lie of the Land.
Oh yeah.
I think that was probably my least favorite from series 10.
Oh no, I'd say Eaters of Light.
Oh really?
Eaters of Light's probably my least favorite, or maybe Knock Knock. Those were the 2 I wasn't too keen on.
Well, I quite like Knock Knock. Eaters of Light, I don't remember being that bad. I think that was more of like an inoffensive one. I think I was maybe a bit more upset with Lie of the Land because it was also the letdown of a trilogy that had been pretty solid up until then.
I think my thing with Eaters of Light, it's sandwiched between 2 really good stories.
It was originally the other way around, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
And Empress of Mars.
I mean yeah, solid.
Wait. Yeah. Although I think it works out a bit better separating the Ice Warriors and the Cybermen with that. Yeah, definitely. It has that same problem that stories like Fear has, doesn't it? Where it is like the calm before the storm of the finale. So it almost feels like everyone's ready for the finale by that point. You're sort of over the ongoing series. You just want to get to the excitement at the end.
Yeah. And what an exciting finale that was.
It has one of my favourite jokes in it, though, where they find like the body drained of life, and Nardole says "death by Scotland."
Okay.
Like the lack of light. Yeah, and that's always tickled me a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that is Emancipation of the Daleks. Another one to purchase.
Yeah.
Might have the act dropped, so if you want a bit of Russell before RTD2, go and get it.
A couple of thoughts on that, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's weird how busy that the text is on the physical cover. Like it's different from what's online, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my other copy's in my other room, so I can't grab it because it's arrived. The CD's actually here, unlike most Big Finish where it takes a while for it to come.
Yeah, 40 still. It's here. Not 40. Solo's still not here yet.
Solo's not here. Unit 2, Nemesis, hasn't arrived yet. So,
still waiting on our old friends vinyl.
Oh, yeah, and 8th of March has arrived. That's arrived. So, but yeah, speaking of RTD, Torchwood. I've got 2 more Torchwood coming up. War Chest, which is Tosh, and the Dead Plates with Billis.
Yeah. And it's also now going up to 72 at least. These are carrying on until April next year.
I mean, that's good for the Torchwood fans.
Regular content each month.
Regular content. Is there a new writer, Rosa McPhillips?
Yeah, he's doing one of the War Doctor Begins next month.
Okay.
The Temesis file one, but other than that, yeah, brand new writer. But he's also I read in the Vortex article, he's an ex-soldier. And so that was part of the reason why he got onto the War Doctor Begins to sort of provide a different perspective on that and on the Time War. So
I guess it'd be a bit like Andrew Smith with like the police stories, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Interesting to see what he has to say on that.
Are you tempted by these Torchwood ones at all?
Not particularly. Maybe when I see the covers, it might jump out at me a bit more. But for now, I'm sort of happily steering clear of them for my wallet's sake.
Yeah, because April looks like it's going to be a busy month. Busy month for Big Finish. And I guess this is another big thing to spend. The Eccleston bundle.
There we go.
Back to Earth. We've got the cover for it. Series 2 of the Nine Doctor Adventures.
It's funny in this news article and the Vortex article, I think Matt Fitton's quoted as saying about how Series 1 was meant to be a bit more arc heavy, and now we're going a bit lighter in Series 2, which feels bizarre because it wasn't.
No, unless you count Scotland as arc heavy. I don't know.
They've confirmed that the last stories take place in Yorkshire, not Scotland, even though it's the Old Lee Sang.
Yeah, Old Lang Syne, is it?
Yeah, I've butchered that completely, but yeah, Old Lang Syne. Yeah, probably sounds better if you say it in a Scottish accent, but I don't. Old Lang Syne. There you go.
Aye, there you go. Right, let's go back to Earth. Before I get into trouble for doing this voice, but there we go.
It's weird that they're sticking with the original format of this, the cover art. Because I thought it made sense to stick with it for old friends, but it seemed like Big Finish was now pushing for that like Stranded style, where the logo's now at the bottom of everything.
Yeah,
and I thought with the relaunch that makes sense. They get all uniform, but now suddenly this has come along and the Sixth Doctor Adventures, to be fair, sort of thrown a spanner in the works. Big Finish just can't be consistent with things, can they?
They like playing with your shelf, so
they really do. It's irritating, but and then you've also got the weird full-cast audio adventures now, rather full-cast audio drama, which just looks awkward stuck there. Why not just have it at the top next to Christopher Eccleston's name, like you have with every other set?
Maybe because they know Eccleston's gonna get more new people into Big Finish, so I don't know.
It's nitpicking. I think this is one of the better covers we've had recently.
Oh yeah, it's a photo cover, so I'm like, it's nice.
And I think it's by Caroline something. Caroline Tankersley. She's done quite a few. She's done 8th of March, Unit Nemesis 2, Lone True and Camelot, Charlotte Pollard for the Adventuress, and Time Jacked.
Some good covers there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very good covers.
I think this sort of feels a bit closer as well to Sean Longmore's style.
Yeah.
Like particularly similar to the Warmaster cover.
Yeah, I can see that.
Got that same sort of effect over it, I guess. I'm not sure quite how to describe it.
It still has that sort of painted look what Tom Webster tried to go for in a way, and Lee Binding has.
I like that we've got the TARDIS in the background, but like different colours for the TARDIS. Especially the purple. I think that works to the side. And then the fireworks for New Year's on the left there. And then whatever that creepy thing is on the right.
I mean, I feel like I've heard mixed things. Is this got individual cover art?
Yes, it has.
Okay, good.
The artist herself out on Twitter confirmed that she has done individual cover art for it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay.
We just don't know whether it's going to be a jewel case or slipcover box set yet.
Because it does look very jewel case cover. I look at it and I think, I can see that in a jewel case. Yeah. I don't want it to be in a jewel case because I love me some individual cover art. But I think I'm going to skip the vinyls this time. Yeah,
same. I think spent enough on vinyls.
I've got a series 1. I'm happy. Unless something in series 2 blows me away where I'm like, I'd like to have that on vinyl. But for now, I'm going to just stick to the CDs.
Yeah. I suppose you can because you got both with series 1 anyway, so you get both with series 2.
So it's be a bit much.
Yeah. Whereas for me, I'm not going for both. It's either one or the other, and very probably CD with series 2. But,
I mean, vinyl is a nice novelty, but
when you've got 8 of them with Eccleston, it sort of feels that novelty's worn off, hasn't it?
Yeah, because I've bought like the Hornet Nest one, so like, that's cool, but it's just one of those things. They take up a lot of room as well.
Yeah, like I got a little suitcase-looking type storage thing for Christmas to put them in, and that's already nearly full with the ones I've got. So, if I was to get this bundle of 4 more, I'd be overflowing.
That's another reason
I've got the same storage problem all over again.
Yeah, that's another reason I'm not going for, because I filled up my vinyl box. I'm like, okay, don't want to go too deep. So I'm like, all right, that's a good way to cut it off.
Yeah, I think I've got enough room for like a couple more, like if they come along with some special one-off things.
Yeah,
in future, like a 4th Doctor one or something, or another 10th Doctor one. But for now, I'm not going to commit to a full series because I can't just get one of a series of vinyls. I'd have to have the whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how you feel. There's that inner sort of collector in your head going, go on, get the others.
Yeah. Like I was tempted to just go Ravagers at first, but then it just it felt wrong. Story details for this. Have you looked into them too much? Because last time we only had the titles.
I haven't. No. I mean, I can quickly read it now. So you give your thoughts while I have a little read.
Yeah. But it seems we're going back into the past with all of them this time, or certainly the second 2. That seems to be where they're most happy with the 9th Doctor at the moment. I think it's something Eccleston quite likes doing as well, going into history and exploring that through the Doctor's eyes. But But yeah, one that most excites me would have to be Station to Station. I like my train stuff. And it seems like this quite interesting idea of lost passengers late at night. So, and I think it's a relatable experience as well for a lot of people. I'm sure you've had an experience going back from uni where, train's been delayed or something, or you've missed a connection and you're left waiting at a train station and the sunset, and it's that creepy vibe, isn't it? And so
yeah, you've got your meal deal and you're like, what do I do? How do I kill time?
yeah. And so I think it's going to be interesting, this idea that there's a creature that goes for these lost travelers, and the Doctor is just there with one other person. It seems almost Sapphire and Steely, and I think that's Sapphire and Steele's
We've got somebody
most
called
well
Saffron.
remembered. Yeah, maybe that was the
Saffron and
inspiration they're
Steel.
showing. One of the most highly rated stories from that series is the one set on the railway station. So let's see how this lives up to that. I think that's either got to be contemporary or set in the past. And then Vortex article confirmed that Auld Lang Syne is set like on multiple New Year's Eves from, I think it was 89 to 94 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, a bit into the past, but not too far. And obviously Moscow 1605. We're going back a bit of a way there. And apparently there's quite an interesting story behind that. They stated in the Vortex article, Sarah Grohala is a historian, or is quite big on history, and so that's why she's written a few similar things for Big Finish.
Yeah.
And she took like this interesting idea from history where apparently I'm probably going to butcher this story and get some facts wrong, so apologies there. But I think basically what I took from the article was the old Tsar had an illegitimate child, because back in Russia at that time, you were allowed to marry 3 times, and then from those 3 marriages, the children had legitimate claims to the throne. After that, if you married again, your children would not have legitimate claims to the throne. And obviously, since this is history, it's a bit sexist. It has to be a son as well. And so there was only one son from like the first 3 marriages, and he died not long after his father did. And so one of the sons from a later marriage, who was killed during childhood, even before that, and that was Dmitri, the Dmitri of this title. But basically, because it's from an illegitimate marriage and such, and I think like it wasn't as well reported on the death, and so about 5 different people came forward claiming to be this son, and claiming to have a claim to the throne, basically, because there was no one else to really take it. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting story there.
I mean, it sort of reminds me of the Clockwise Man, because you've got the last of like the Tsars from the Russian Revolution going to London. So yeah, be interesting on that. See how that compares. Obviously, completely different times. But yeah, I mean, Auld Lang Syne, that interests me because it's Tim Foley. And Tim Foley has been knocking out some really good stories over the past year and a bit.
First writer to do 2 for the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah, because he did. What is it? The second one in
Fright Motif.
Yeah, Fright Motif. Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I think there's something about a Russell T Davies New Year's special like this, isn't there? But much more family driven, and
I almost feel like saving it, you know.
Yeah, it does feel very TV in a good way. The vibe I get from this.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Excited. Yeah, because I think the first series of Eccleston, I don't know how quickly they were pumped out, but they were pretty much confirmed even before they recorded anything, which is unlike Big Finish. So hopefully with series 2, they've had time to plot things, and everything's sort of set in stone and been more tweaked and refined, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that apparently the stories themselves were moved about a bit. I'm not sure whether it was during writing or even after recording, but like they left it a bit loose structure-wise so they could mix and match depending on what they wanted the themes for the box sets to be.
Do we know if the last box set's going to have a two-parter again?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Ah,
I think first time that was confirmed was in the Big Finish podcast, so I've been listening in and out of that, but I could have missed something. Who knows?
So I would like another two-parter.
Yeah, I definitely want some two-parters at some point in this series.
Yeah, because I think that's where that box set really excelled, was the two-parter, because it was just really good. I mean, Old Friends is a really good box set anyway. Best of the bunch so far, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's safe to agree with that. I mean, that's where it ended up on our tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that a listen on vinyl when that eventually arrives, hopefully soon.
I don't think I've had the dispatch yet, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And see.
Stylish One says, Big Finish have really botched the relaunch cover-wise, logos going up and down, full cast stickers appearing, disappearing, each range crossing over, cover art style-wise. They had a chance to be consistent. Yes, they did. And have botched it. What a shame. They'll confuse their new target audience. Yeah, that's what's bizarre about this, really. It does fit, yeah. Like, it should have been fresh, consistent starts that you know what you're getting. And it seemed like it was that for a while, but now it's a bit all over the place, which is a shame. Interesting that Big Finish's Doctor Who spin-offs are going more arc-heavy, also said by Stylish One, Gallifrey War Room Unit Nemesis, but they've mostly moving away from that with mainline Who, 2, 4, and maybe 6 Doctors aside. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wonder if maybe that's just how it's reflected in sales, really. Maybe there is more... Because like you have that thing of diminishing returns, don't you? Like a first box set will get more sales compared to later ones. And so maybe that's more strong with the Doctor Who line stuff compared to the spin-offs. Maybe they retain their audience a bit more. Maybe because the audience is a bit smaller to begin with. I don't... That could have sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Also, hopefully they start up more arcs. I love arcs. They don't even have to be long, just an arc across 1 or 2 box set. It makes it more rewarding, and I just prefer it a lot more. Yeah, I agree, especially with how we're now down to 3 discs a box set. I think it is nice to have those longer style of stories, like sort of like what we're getting with 40. I think one of the best ones they've done is the Sinestron, not Sinestron Kill. That's the first story in this arc, the Syndicate Master Plan.
Yeah,
I think that was 2 box sets, 8 discs across it total. Some more standalone stuff, but all feeding into that arc, and also the fact that it was just 1 month apart, really, as well. It was January, then February, and then boom, it was done. And I think
it was one of those box sets where made me go, damn, why can't the McGann stuff be like this?
Yeah, like a lot of the McGann stuff doesn't need 4 whole box sets. A lot of it could probably be done in 2. And if it could probably be much more punchy. And also you'd keep up with it a lot more because
they'll have more momentum.
You don't have 9 months. Yeah, it's the momentum that needs to keep going. Dalek Universe, that is probably an even better example actually than Syndicate Master Plan.
I'd say probably those are the 2 best examples of like a series working well.
Yeah, and I think with your current 3-disc format, Dalek Universe style is probably the way to go with 3 box sets. So you have a trilogy of trilogies. And that's the right length to tell a story at Big Finish. Obviously, each story is different now. Some stories don't need that long, but
yeah, I mean that's the thing with like Dalek Universe. It wasn't like heavily linking, but there was a lot of character work within those stories. What made it feel like it linked together. So you didn't mind it really, but it all come together in the end where you're like, oh, it makes sense, you know. with it all.
Yeah.
I feel like the relaunch is more so to get fans that are starved for story, since the current era is releasing episodes periodically. I mean, I think Big Finish have always noticed like a big push, like 2016 when we had no Doctor Who. We had like David Tennant, classic Doctor's New Monsters. I think 2016 is when Big Finish probably started to really thrive off people just wanting new Doctor Who. And I think with the Chibnall era, the gaps are getting bigger and bigger. So I think
especially with the new series license coming in around that time as well, people specifically wanting new series stuff, and Big Finish were starting to be able to deliver on that. And like you say, now with the gaps, we've got April to October, and then after that it's going to be October to November the next year, most likely. So big old gaps upcoming.
And I think that's when you I mean, I can only speak for myself. The reason I got into Big Finish was I've watched all that I can of Doctor Who.
You sort of run out of classic Who too.
Yeah, you turn to that to get your next fix, because Doctor Who's like a drug. You constantly go, what can I experience? What's my next hit gonna be? And Big Finish has definitely got you covered with how much they produce.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, there's no shortage to feed that addiction. In fact, there's too much. If
there's too much. So when we get to re-listen to things like this little segue, it's nice to revisit certain things like these early adventures, what we're here to review for you tonight.
Yeah.
So it feels like a bit of a joy to revisit some of these stories. Should we dive into our review?
Let's go for it. I mean, we can't not after that segue.
Yeah, I suppose it'd be rude not to.
It's the main event. That's what people are here for. We've kept them waiting, distracted with news. But
hopefully they're here for us, not just.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but they're here for us to talk about these things.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right. So we did do a tier list, I think, back in August, September. Looking at the early adventure range, but we decided to do a little throwback because we fancied some black and white Doctor Who, or you could imagine it in color if you want, because that's the beauty of audio. So our first story we're going to take a look at is the Ravelli Conspiracy, released November 2016. My goodness.
I didn't get around to this one until probably about March, April 2017. I'm pretty sure it would have been around this time. And I remember
around about the same.
Yeah. Because I didn't get this whole series. I just got the last two. I remember I got this on the Thursday, and then the Friday Big Finish put it on sale.
Oh, that's rough.
But it was, and so that was when I got the Sontarans as well, because I think it was a whole first Doctor sale they had.
Yeah, I remember that because I think I met Peter Purvis for day of the sale, so I was like, oh, this is timed well. Because give me some recommendations, Peter.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said the Oliver Harper stuff. Which I can agree, really good stuff. What other ones did you recommend? I think that was the main ones he recommended, and I think there was another one. I can't remember what other ones he said. Oh, the War to End All Wars. That's another one. Companion Chronicle.
There we go.
But he said he didn't like that one as much because he had to do Dodo.
Oh, really?
But he's like,
he
the story's great.
What, Secrets of Death Send then? Because I got someone else into the.
Yeah, because he's like, I struggle with Dodo. And I think that's the only time he's played Dodo, I think. I could be wrong. But he said anything with like Simon Gurrier, he's like, get it. So he's a big fan of Simon Gurrier.
Yeah, and I suppose he did the Sontarans as well, didn't they? So
I mean, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I think Simon Gurrier does seem to be the go-to one for the early adventures. I think he must be the most prolific early adventure writer.
He's like the go-to 60s writer, I feel, because he did the Sarah Kingdom trilogy, really good trilogy. Oliver Harper, like you say, Sontarans. Outliers is a really good one. I think that's probably my favourite of Series 4.
Yes Man.
Yes Man's another good one.
I mean, he did the Black Hole. We're not as keen on that, but that is one he wrote.
Scourge of Simon's got a very 60s feel to it.
Scourge of Simon, that is brilliant.
And then the Mega, that's another good one. Well, that's adapted by Simon Gurrier, but yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
back then, Big Finish adaptations did have a bit more leeway with the lost stories. I think now they try to be very authentic, don't they, to what it would
I
have
feel
been, warts and all.
the lost stories. I feel like they've sort of lost what you can call a lost story. Like Mind of the
Yeah.
Hodiak, it's not lost. It's just kind of, hey, where can we put it in a big, like, no disrespect because I'm glad we've got it. But
It is more like technically fan fiction, isn't it?
it's
That just
fanfic. Yeah.
happened to be by a writer who then went on to be one of the best in British television and did bring Doctor Who back and is doing so again.
Mm.
So it's like you can't not make it, but
No.
that's it.
I think even in the behind the scenes and like Russell jokes that it was so Big Finish would be crawling after it, and I feel like he just gets a Big Finish at this point.
Yeah.
Whatever they can get, they'll have. And fair play to him. Fair play. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a high seller for him. Definitely gonna be.
Yeah.
One of
I
the big
imagine so.
sellers of the year.
I think quite a lot of people have been talking about it, haven't they?
Mm.
A friend of ours who we haven't heard from in a while
Yeah.
came back to us to talk about that.
Yeah, Geeks Handbag. Just name drop. Yeah, Geeks Handbag.
Yeah, got like a big group chat of a lot of us Who fans, and he popped up again just to talk about Mind of the Hodiak. So
yeah,
it shows the power that release has had, I suppose.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more in depth in our, I guess, RTD special Big Finish fans.
Yeah.
Where we take a look at Damaged Goods and Mind of the Hodiak. But for now, let's go back to Ravelli Conspiracy. What do you make of this one?
I remember having a really good time with it on first listen all those years ago. I think I must have listened to it more than once, actually. I just love it's got a really fun, jovial atmosphere. It like
The
takes
music helps that.
Yeah, it's got quite nice music. It sort of like takes this idea of assassinations and all these plots back then being just an accepted part of life, really. And so it takes that and runs with it in its humor. And on this listen, again, I really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of wit in the dialogue, really. That's definitely where this story shines. Funnily enough, plot-wise, I remember it pulling the rug out from me maybe one more time than it actually did. I did get a bit lost on first listen, even though I was really enjoying it. There was a lot of like political machinations, twists and turns. And then it sort of felt a bit simpler on this re-listen. Maybe it's because I'm older as well, older and wiser a bit.
You've listened to a few more audio since then.
Yeah, I'm sort of less caught off guard by it. But yeah, certainly still had a really good time with this one. How about you? How did you find it on this revisit? And how was your first experience of it?
Because I bought the bundle series free. And
you
the
poor
first
soul.
the first two stories didn't really do anything for me. So when I got to Ravelli Conspiracy, I was like, oh, here we go. Let's see if this is any better. And I was blown away. I thought, you know what, this is a really, really good historical. This proves why the early adventures exist. I thought it was a really, really fun romp of a historical, and it still is one of my favorite historical adventures. I think there's a lot of fun to be had. I remember you messaged me, I think, in the week saying how sparkling the dialogue is, with like the wit of it, and like Vicky, wonderfully witty within this story. I think this is a really good story for Vicky, and I think Stephen's probably the one won't get sidelined because he's captured, locked up. But I think Vicky gets a lot to do, especially with the Pope within it.
Well, as his consort of sort, isn't it?
Yeah, the Pope wants her to be the consort for him.
And I mean, funnily enough, actually, one thing with the Pope that I didn't pick up on first listen is the subtext that he is gay in this and was in real life believed to be. So I think with a lot of historical figures back then, it is more historians putting things together that maybe hinted at it, but wouldn't have been outright said just because how that's treated at the time. And yeah, that was weird to think that went completely over my head the first time, because it's not subtle with it as such.
No,
And
because
there
you
is
get
actually,
lines by the person who is in love with Machiavelli, isn't it? Going, oh, you know, people talk about the Pope and that, why he needs like a consort and that.
yeah, like he's only taking Vicky as a consort not to actually have
Yeah,
her there for that purpose, but to just disguise it. And actually, there is quite a good line. It is from Carla, who says they're sort of talking about a circus, and she calls her the beard. You must be the bearded
good
lady at the
lady.
circus, which refers to, you know, someone being a beard for someone, which is when you're hiding. You're just there as a romantic companion to hide their real sexuality. Which I think, again, going to the witty dialogue, that has got to be up there with some of the wittiest stuff there is in there, really. Which again totally went over my head last time, but this time really picked up on and really appreciated that fun bit of wit in there.
I mean, it's quite educational because of like the whole Machiavellian type stuff, like learning that was quite interesting. Like learning
I think even
why.
Stephen has that moment in the cells where he says, but that's a byword for, or it's not a by, it's something like that, isn't it? I
Yeah,
can't
it's a
quite remember.
byword.
Is it byword? Yeah.
Yeah, he says byword, yeah. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the story, you get what Stephen was going to say by the byword, that it's cunning and devious and that sort of thing.
You realise why Machiavellian is the same that it is.
And Machiavellian as a character, you do get lured into that. Oh, he's really nice. He's looking after our TARDIS crew. But then when you get to the end of part 2, there's a whole hidden agenda there. So I guess it's predictable. But if you know what Machiavellian means, you're not surprised by it, if that makes sense.
No, that's true.
So I think one. Oh, go on.
Yeah, one thing that did confuse us the first time though is that you have a lot of these long, olden Italian names.
Yeah, I was just going to mention
so,
this.
Yeah, you got the title being the Ravelli conspiracy. Us being the young fools that we were, got confused between Ravelli and Machiavelli a few times, didn't we? So it's
Yeah. I think as well, picturing a pure historical audio can be challenging, especially when you've got these 3 big heavy hitter characters. So you've got the bloodthirsty brother, which I assume is the guy with the beard there, and he's got a dagger.
Yeah, I think.
Then
Must
you've
be
got
Machiavelli in the middle,
and then you've got Mr. Pope there.
Yeah, we presume.
We presume. Could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But that's that, and I feel like it's like the massacre in a way, but it's like it was set in France, a massacre. So again, you're trying to picture who's who, but this is solely made for audio, unlike that being a TV script. So I feel like it takes me a good episode to go, okay, that's the characters, okay. Because I couldn't tell you like the individual names of like the actual bloodthirsty brother.
Yeah. Do you picture it like Mask of Mandragora? Like the setting?
A bit, yeah, a bit like that, yeah.
Because it's like that same time periods.
But a bit like the
we're
reign.
now in Florence.
A bit like the Reign of Terror of like the studio footage of like the barn sort of stuff. I could picture that, how they did like the Reign of Terror.
Do you think they'd get a stunt double for Vicky on the road?
Maybe
as she's going to
on the horse. Yeah, I think they could have done that. I think part 3 for me is the highlight of this story.
Ah, really?
All the stuff in the jail scene with like Hartnell going, well, the first Doctor going to drink the wine. I think that's wonderful. I feel like there's a wonderful twinkle of the first Doctor within this story, which I really love.
Yeah, I think Peter Purves in his performance as first Doctor definitely gets that down, doesn't he?
He really does.
That more mischievous side of the first Doctor. I think that's always present in his voice.
Especially when you get to sort of the ending of part 4, when you have the Pope in the TARDIS.
Yeah. I think especially a lot of those like
Yeah, the little
fun little
chuckles.
chuckles. Yeah, he does those very well.
But you get a lovely little outburst as well about the not being at the Olympics and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like that prickliness, isn't it?
And especially when he's squaring off to like Machiavellian about the scheme, you really get that sort of fierce heart, which I really like. I think that stuff in the jail scene in part 3 just encapsulates the first Doctor for me. You've got the twinkle and the outbursts.
Yeah. What did you make of the guest actors in this as well, playing these 4 actually, because we have Carla in there as well. Wonderful parts.
I think the Pope's wonderful. I think there's a loveliness. There's a wonderful dynamic between the Pope and his bloodthirsty brother.
Yeah, it's like he's obviously much more moral, but doesn't quite care enough.
He's kind of blasé about it all.
Yeah, he's like, you've got to stop killing people, brother. You really do. People aren't going to like you if you keep doing this.
It's not good for your image. Please stop.
Yeah. I think the actors very much get their teeth into this dialogue. It's not, like we say, it's very sparkling dialogue, very well brought to life as well.
But one of my I feel like goes under the radar characters is the guard.
Oh, he is brilliant.
Because he's so deadpan. He's blooming brilliant, especially in like episode 4. About like, oh yeah, we've got a problem with letting prisoners go, so I don't think I can move. Like, it's just the dialogue's not funny. It's just the delivery's great within it.
Yeah,
it's so I love it. Guard captain, played by Joe Ball. Good guy. Like him a lot.
Yeah. I think there's a funny scene in part 4 where 2 guards actually end up colliding with each other while chasing either Vicky or Steven. Like it definitely leans into comedy a fair bit, this one. I think that's partly what's so fun about
it. It sort of has that Romans. Like, you've even got a reference of a Romans of like Nero or something like that. I swear it's in this.
Oh, it might be.
You get a little reference to Nero within it.
I think it's also quite nice that the characters are split up for most of this. They are each going on their own journey. Like, Vicky is often with the Pope. First Doctor is often with Machiavelli. And then you've got Stephen teamed up with Carla in the kitchens. And they sort of weave in and out of each other quite well. It's not in the same way as the Romans, where it's like this comedic weaving out, though. Like, you have Vicky meeting with Nero while Nero's chasing after Barbara, and she has no idea that Barbara's even in Rome at this time. It's not that kind of weaving. It is more the way the different plots weave in between each other as Machiavelli machinations play out, really.
Yeah, it's sort of a game of cat and mouse of trying to get all the characters in the same location, get the TARDIS back because the TARDIS has been taken to,
Yeah, you've sort of got the Pope doing a Peter Capaldi's character.
I was going to say, very Fires of Pompeii.
Modern art.
Is it Greek?
He's absolutely fascinated by the TARDIS, isn't he?
Yeah.
And sort of puts it up on a pedestal in the library.
I mean, who wouldn't? It's a gorgeous prop. But yeah, really, really good story.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at our the tier list we did, and where is it? We did put it top spot, this one,
and I will say though, I did find part 2 to drag a little.
It is a bit of a long one, isn't it? Like, they're all over 30 minutes, these parts, I believe.
Yeah, it's like 2 30 minutes and 31, 32. The cliffhangers are good. Like even the resolution for part 3's cliffhanger, I thought, oh, that's a really nice little resolution.
Yeah, that was a funny little.
I was like, that's a type of like danger, but there's a nice, fun comedic twist. So I think that really represents the story because it shows like the danger of history. But then you get the nice sort of quirkiness of it. I like it.
That's sort of like one of the things that's pointed out right from the start after they arrive is the Doctor going on about all the dangers they could face in this time. And then Steve was just like, well, maybe we should leave. And I was like, oh no, we'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, all ready for the Outlaws for Dodo.
Yeah, I would say for me it's a 9 out of 10, definitely.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree.
Right.
It is a strong one, really strong one.
Lots of fun to be had.
Yeah, one of the standouts from the early adventure range, I'd say.
Yeah, and certainly it got me really excited when we found out that Series 5 would be all Stephen and Vicky stuff, because it was on the strength of this that I was really hyped for it. It was also on the strength of this that I was really hyped for Kingdom of Lies by the same two writers, and it's a very similar style. It's very much their same witty dialogue, but it just didn't work for us.
No,
I was very disappointed by that one. I think.
Yeah, because you had like half a red and blue castle, and you had the Scorpion assassin, and what they built up Patsy Kensit to be, and like the character never amounted to anything.
That was one that took me ages to listen to. I like got 2 parts in. I was just like, no, I'm not feeling this, even though it's Fifth Doctor and like Adric, Nyssa, and Tegan. It's like that Fifth Doctor box set crew, isn't it, that we love?
Yeah.
Even then, I struggled, and then I think it took me about maybe half a year, maybe more, to finally get to part 4, and even then I was underwhelmed.
I think this is their strongest script they've done.
Yeah. I mean, which other ones have they done since? I think they're doing an upcoming Fourth Doctor one.
Shall I have a little look?
Yeah, let's see what. I think they've done some Avengers as well, which to be fair, their star does suit.
Yeah, they've done plenty of Avengers. So we've got Series 13, Volume 1. Oh, Entanglement.
Yeah. That one's definitely a step up from Kingdom of Lies. I think I'm more fond of that one than you, I believe.
I'd say that's that was the weakest of Series 5 for me.
Yeah, it might be for me as well. I don't know. But Series 5 is a very strong series anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a good series. Did countermeasures with the unit? No, the Yeti, sorry. They did the. Oh, they probably didn't do the Yeti one. That's probably Andy Frank Callum. Splendid Man. Oh, mayonnaise. Yeah.
Yeah, where do we put? Oh, we put Entanglement on the 3rd tier down out of 6.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad.
Nah, that's still pretty fair placing. I'll keep stum about where we put the Forsaken.
Okay.
We'll see how that lines up afterwards.
But yeah, the Ravelli Conspiracy, what a joy to revisit. 9 out of 10 for both of us.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. I'm glad I listened to it a bit earlier than you did, actually. You did it yesterday.
Yeah.
I did it last weekend going into this week when we started the sun out. And I think that suits like this Italian Renaissance period, doesn't it? It's meant to be set like late summer, I believe. And you can very much envision the farm fields and such going on around. And I think listening to it in that sunshine was quite pleasant, I suppose.
I mean, sort of something similar happened to me with The Forsaken. I was cleaning my room, so it's set in like a dusty hotel. So I was like, I'm cleaning the hotel.
Yeah, you're dusting it all away.
Dusting it all away. But yeah,
I hope a Japanese bomber didn't come and attack your house while you were listening.
Didn't happen in part 2 of cleaning.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about that story, isn't it?
Shall we have a quick look at the chat just to see if anybody's had a quick mention about Ravelli, just to see.
Our stylish ones pointed out the Doctor of War excerpt that's come up. We'll have to have a talk about
I've listened to that.
Yeah. I think should we save that for after?
Yeah, we'll save that for after.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Bonk Cactus. Hope you're well. Ravelli Conspiracy strikes me as the opposite of The Massacre, a fun, light-hearted comedy opposed to one of the bleakest and darkest stories in all of classic Who. Yeah, I'd agree with that statement. I disagree.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
It's good dark humor, isn't it? There's some great conversations about the torture chamber and such.
Yeah, like even the guard about trying to get to the kitchen. It's like, oh, if you hear the screaming, you've gone too far. Take a left.
Yeah, I get the deadpan guard again.
Yeah, I just love that deadpan guard.
I like the Pope's reaction to when his brother's talking about the torture chamber at dinner. He's like, "This isn't the time. I'm trying to eat."
Oh.
He's not like he's disapproving that he's got it, but at the same time, he's not taking it away from him. Not quite Ravelli, but Stylish One says, "That's a hot take. I love the Black Hole, and it's one of the most popular Second Doctor stories. You're the only people I've ever seen criticize it. It got Simon Gurrier's version of the First Master." Yeah, I saw you mention that on Twitter, actually, Stylish One. I think it's Parvo is the character.
Oh, aren't they in Blood of Time Lords?
I don't think so.
I swear there's somebody called like Parvo or something like that in there.
Maybe it's just a similar Time Lord name that comes up.
I mean, I didn't realise it linked to blooming Planet of Spiders. There we go. Should we go on to Forsaken then?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Since you've probably got a lot to say about this, and hopefully you can redeem your Second Doctor fan card.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I thought I did that with my invasion defense.
Oh, well, let's see.
I thought I thought if the Dalek tier list got revoked, then the Cyberman tier list was what brought that back. But
yeah, just try and load it up now for you.
Justin Richards, a writer who, so like when you think of the name, you think he's quite prominent with Big Finish, but actually he hasn't written one in ages. He seems to have moved on from it.
When was the last one he wrote?
I think it was Jacob and Lightfoot.
Okay. Was it series 14?
I think he has got one of those as well, but it was like adapted by Julian Richards instead.
Oh, okay.
And then and I think before that it was the series 13 one. Do you want to have a quick click on his name? Let's just.
I'll open it on a new tab, see if that works.
Confirm our theories here. Yeah, 96. He's done a lot.
Blake
7. Those were re-releases. Yeah, Jacob Lightfoot forever. So
yeah,
he used to write a fair bit, especially Fourth Doctor Adventures. None of the
Shadow
early
of London
Adventure there. Beast of Kravanos.
He was like a main staple, like 2015, really, isn't he?
Yeah, seems like 2016 he just dropped off a bit. I think it was also script editor on Jacob Lightfoot.
I mean, that would make sense, yeah.
I was writing a lot of them, yeah.
Dance of Glass, that's a belter.
Rani Elitensbrig.
It's
funny how you have like these mainstays who just sort of fade away after a while. I suppose, eventually move on to other things. Can't stay forever.
But yeah, Forsaken. If you haven't picked this up, you can for £2.99. Part of the book club, if you've wanted it. And if you're interested with what we say and you think, oh, might fancy this one, then you can on the cheap. So go on, take it away, Forsaken.
Yeah, it's a very quick story compared to Ravelli Conspiracy, but that's chunky half-hour parts. Most of these are just around 22 minutes. Like the first 3 parts are. Part 4 steps up a little bit up to the 27-minute mark. But yeah, so it's one that rattles along here. You've got the season 4 TARDIS crew of the Second Doctor, Ben, Polly, and Jamie here. And this is, interesting enough, the first one actually written for Elliot Chapman as Ben, whereas the Yes Men, they sort of got him in at the last minute because Fraser Hines didn't quite want to do Ben on top of the Second Doctor and Jamie. And so we had this brilliant recast who has sadly retired from the role now, it seems. But yeah, he gave us some great stuff at the time. And I think that he really blew us away. It was the first recast where instantly upon listening, you're like, this is Ben, really.
I think maybe because his stuff's missing as well. There's that less of it's wrong to say personal connection.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
you're so used to the voice anyway with Ben, so I guess it's more of an easier transition than say Pertwee or whatever, really.
Yeah, I suppose Michael Craze as well had a bit less of a distinctive voice compared to someone like John Pertwee or Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, you just put like a Cockney accent. You've got Ben.
Yeah,
I mean, anything's better than the Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's maybe
Wakey,
easier than
doctor.
someone. Oh dear.
Oh, anyway.
But yeah, and so with that, we get Ben's father in this as well.
Where time travel becomes personal, as they say in the story.
Yeah. So meeting him during the Second World War, before Ben is even conceived, they make a
few
point
months.
of. Yeah, it's like he's born in December 1942. I think it's 42.
Yeah.
And
this is February,
this is set during February, so they've got to get him back home so that Ben can be
get it on.
The origins of Ben. There we go.
For all we know, Ben could just be dangling in his ball bag. that's we got the two Bens. It's a multi-Ben story.
Bloody hell!
It's fine.
They're both. It's nice how they reveal that as well. And like you have that line about Polly says, "Oh, we've got our own Jacko." After they introduce Private Jackson, I think what's his first name? I'm having to look this up now.
I mean, while you do that, I will say that there could have been more made of that, personally.
Yeah, it does feel like they sort of tread over it.
Because you get them
James Jackson, funnily enough, played by Oliver Jackson.
Okay.
And to be fair, he could probably play Ben as well.
Yeah, there you go, Big Finish. Go for it. Because I think in part 2, you get them working together looking for said creature on the cover. But nothing really amounts to it. Like Jamie has maybe like the odd slip in part 3 going, oh, it Ben's with his, no,
Ben and his dad. Yeah, I think it's the Doctor actually who says it.
Yeah.
Ben and his father. Yeah. And you like it. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the big downsides for the story, because the story itself's great, but that's one of the selling factors that it's Ben and his dad, and obviously Ben's quite an underdeveloped character in a way. So I thought we could get a little bit more from it, but sadly, nothing really comes of it. But that's a minor quibble, really.
Yeah, I think I'm not really too bothered by that because it's more than we would have gotten at the time anyway. So I think it's nice that it treats it in a similar way. It doesn't do the generic thing of him actually revealing that he is his son. It's not too crucial to the plot. It's just a detail that's there to sort of hurry Ben along. You sort of get the impression that maybe he wasn't that close with his father. Not that there was any tension there or anything, just that they're not. Like maybe he died when he was quite young or something. But no, even then there would have been more made of that. I think, yeah. It just
but a reference to it at some point.
Yeah, certainly it just seems like they're mates really in this story.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit I think it is mostly in that first scene where you get a nice reaction, then you get a little joke at the end where it's like, if you have a child, you can name it Polly or Jamie.
Yeah. I think the setting, I really like it.
Oh, the music really helps with that as
it.
well. It sets the atmosphere, sets the tone brilliantly.
Like the jungle scenes, you can really picture that being in a studio. I don't know about you, but I could really visualize that when they're looking for the creature. I really
similar
like
to
that.
Kemble, I imagine, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
That sort of thick jungle. Yeah. I love the stuff set in a deserted town as well. And I like this old hotel that's very run down. You can very much picture the heat of it, can't you? I think there's like talk of rotting fish and stuff.
At the start, yeah. But it's all a bit like Mary Celeste, and there's a nice little joke about that from The Chase.
Yeah. It's always wonderful, those little deserted town stories. They sort of think where things are more quiet than they should be.
I was just gonna say, I think the narration really enhances this one, especially with like the deserted stuff, like you say. Like Annika Wills' narration, really good within this.
Yeah, the talk of like the TARDIS and Lantern in a quiet back street as well. That's something you can't really get from full cast.
Yeah,
like you could have a character say, "Oh, we've landed in a back street," but the
you're not
clunk
gonna.
of that hits you
Yeah,
quite hard.
yeah.
So, yeah, I love like the talk of the dust as well. The talk to set up the pots and pans and stuff.
That's
You
wonderful. That's
can really
wonderful. The
imagine
pots
like
and
the
pans.
beams of light with the dust in it throughout this hotel. I think that's it's a very atmospheric location.
And you sort of have this lovely. It's a base in the Siege story, but in a very different way. It sort of gives me sort of a Web of Fear vibes in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
With that sort of with like that small military group. I think the monster, though it looks like a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, what a brilliant idea! I love it. Using the time period and the setting to its advantage is so good. I really think it's one of the best ideas of the story.
Yeah. I think it does stand out a bit though in the 60s. It doesn't quite feel like a 60s idea. It feels maybe more Hinchcliffe or I mean, even Fifth Doctor Visitation had its own vision of death, didn't it, Grim Reaper?
Yeah, it feels a bit like not like a Keller machine, but it has sort of a vibe to it, like the Keller machine in a way.
Yeah.
With that fear and feeding off fear and paranoia.
Yeah, that's true.
which is all good.
Great cliffhangers throughout as well. Part ones is rather actually you could get part one for free.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, if you are still unsure about the steal of a price at $2.99, get part one and see what you think. And then after that cliffhanger, I feel like there's no way you'll be able to resist.
Yeah, because part one's cliffhanger, I was like, oh, it's so Moonbase like type of thing, but it's a complete twist to what you expect it to be. And it's such a horrible scene. What you can imagine, and like you can tell that it haunts Polly because like Polly's like, I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing like a dead body. Like part 3 is so rich for Second Doctor and Polly scenes, and I love. It's like, well, why can't I go into the jungle? It's like, oh no, you stay here and help me. We're think while it's beautiful stuff like that.
There is like a lot of similar to what they did in the 60s, where Polly is often stuck doing the women's work in quotation marks, while Ben and Jamie go off and do the men's work. But it's more well rationalized here, and it's sort of like it's being authentic to that, while also not being sexist like that perhaps was, because the Doctor very much gives a reason for it that they're more brute force, whereas we're the thinkers, and we need to have a think about what could be going on here.
It's all lovely stuff like that, which I really do like. I just looking at the cover, I forgot how good of a cover it is. It's really good.
It's like it was the start of this style of cover because we've had quite a few where it's like the almost black and white with the streaks of red going through it. I think even the Night Witches later on.
I was just going to say, another Second Doctor, Second World War story.
Yeah, he has quite a few of those. He always had another one with the Home Guard, but that sort of does something a bit different there. So,
yeah, this is the cracker. I enjoyed this one a lot. Yeah, it just made me go, you know what, 2015, what a good year for Big Finish that was, really.
Yeah. Like this. Yeah, this would have been around the same time as Doom Coalition 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because that was
October.
Yeah, blimey. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you said this before, but what did you make of the twist? Because you remember the twist.
Yeah, I did. This was well, there's like a twist. It's part 3 that's revealed, isn't it? Right at the end, that's like the big cliffhanger. Another brilliant cliffhanger there, like the way that's revealed. Yeah, it's quite I think maudlin the words.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of corpses in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it's funny because it would have been 5-6 years since I listened to it last. And yet that twist instantly came back to me right when I started listening to it. Like I think the opening scene is the soldiers in the woods, and yeah, I remembered instantly what was going on there. Whereas you were caught off guard more by it, weren't you?
Yeah, because this is the second time I've listened to it. I think I listened to it probably early 2016. I've listened to plenty of Big Finish since then. But I always remembered Loving the Forsaken because I think I did like a Halloween video, and this was like my second Doctor pick for scary stories. And I think that it definitely is worthy of the Spooky Troughton.
Yeah.
I think that it's a really good one. But yeah, the twist I did not remember. I had an inkling, but it when it came, I was like, oh yeah, I remember it now. But yeah, it was a good twist. It was a good twist.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, certainly just because I remembered it doesn't take away from the impact or the quality of it, I would say. So
yeah, I think with this one, it's difficult to dive more in depth, unlike Ravelli, because this is on sale. So if you haven't got it, it's a prime time to go and pick it up. But, yeah.
I say it does feel a bit. I'm not as sold on the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
It is more like almost a Scooby Doo ending of chasing a monster down.
But I think that fits Troughton's era, though.
Yeah, perhaps. I think the final defeat of the monster, I think that was quite clever. But yeah, otherwise, I think it sort of does dip a bit in that climax of part 4 for me. And yeah, like overall, I think it's very good, but it doesn't quite reach levels of great because it is rather by the numbers Doctor Who in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which isn't an insult at all. There's nothing wrong with that every once in a while. Not every story has to go above and beyond to be the best thing ever. But yeah, I think it never feels like it's pushing itself.
Would you say it's sort of like meat and potatoes Doctor Who?
Yeah, meat and potatoes horror Doctor Who, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I think again, especially at the length it is, you don't feel like your time's being wasted by
it. You're definitely going to take some enjoyment from it, you know.
Yeah.
I think for £2.99, definitely got to get something from it.
Yeah. I think especially the atmosphere early on in those first 2 parts, wonderful stuff.
But in terms of rating, I feel maybe 7.5 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say around there. Yeah, about 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I'll go 7.5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Where do we put it on the tier list? Where do we put it?
The tier was Great Jumping Gobstoppers, which was the 3rd one down out of 6.
Okay.
So, that ranked alongside The Doctor's Tale, The ISOS Network, and Entanglement. Maybe a couple of others as well, because I haven't quite skipped right to the end.
I think I prefer it to Entanglement. Because what other ones were in Series 2? I'm going a little tangent here.
Black Hole, ISOS Network, and Yes Men.
I think Yes Men is probably my favourite of Series 2.
Where did we rank? Yeah, we did rank Yes Men the highest out of Series 2. That got the second.
Good.
Down.
There we go.
ISOS Network was ranked alongside that, and what's it? Black Hole. We put down in was the category. That was the 4th one down.
Yeah, because I thought if we did the poll for Black Hole would win.
Yeah, we saw.
I mean, it would make sense for April with like but I don't know if I could because I think you said, could you stomach Rufus Hound for like double in a month? I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe triple in a month if we did
Yeah.
that. I would like to re-listen to it sometime, maybe see if I was a bit too harsh on it. But yeah, certainly I thought now we'd better stick to something we do actually want. Because especially when it's something we don't want to listen to, we put it off more, don't we?
Yeah, we do that, yeah. Maybe Beyond War Games we'll do Black Hole World.
Yeah, maybe that'd fit.
Yeah, maybe.
Leave a like on the video if you want us to do Black Hole.
Yeah, if this, how many likes should we say?
Oh, we're committing now. Do we want to do?
I mean, I'm all for it. And like
20, 30 likes.
Let's go 20 likes. 20 likes if you want us to do the black hole. So if you want the black hole to happen, get your friends to like the video. It's free and it helps us out, you know. If you want more people to see us, then please like video, please. Thank you.
I'm tempted to unlike it now.
Don't blame me.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we're sleepy on the classic here. We could absolutely love this story on re-listen. But...
yeah, who knows? Who knows? Now I'll do one better on tier list every Rufus Hound Monk story.
Oh.
Oof.
I mean, after April, there'd be a fair few of them. So,
I mean, if you want us to do a Rufus Hound tier list, get us to 50 likes. And then we'll do a Rufus, and I'll even buy Missy for this. That's for dedication. I'm going for.
Yeah, I think I've got all the Doctor Who ones, other than the How to Win Planets and Influence People. I did get the Blame Game actually.
I've got the Blame Game, yeah.
So yeah, I've got all Rufus Hound Monk stories. Otherwise,
50 likes, bet. All right, you're on. Everyone's going to make multiple accounts now.
No. But I've won, but at what cost? When you see the video at 50 likes.
I'll be like, well, we did all right in that stream. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Hello, DWH RGRT.
Hello. Everyone share this video. Yeah, go on. Get us to 50 likes and we'll do a Rufus Hound special. And who knows?
One's on board for it.
Yeah. Who knows? Might message Rufus Hound to join us. Don't let this be a dream. Go on.
Yeah. Oh, Stylish One says, favourite Second Doctor World War II style story? Resistance, Forsaken, The Night Witches, or The Home Guard?
I'd say Night Witches. I remember really loving that one.
I'd say Forsaken, actually. I think Night Witches is what I need to revisit. I remember everyone was loving that at the time, and I was thinking, it's all right, but...
Actually, I wouldn't, because Ben would be beyond negative. Who knows? I might become a Rufus Hound stan, as the kids say. So I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Slash one also said, The Forsaken is really good. Not one of my favourite Second Doctor stories, but it's still really good. Great side characters and wonderful paranoia in the later episodes. A brilliantly creepy monster. Yes, but it very much does get down that 60s paranoia, I suppose.
Yeah, that's good. That's one of the strong things, the atmosphere, like you say.
Yeah, Forsaken also finds something substantial for each TARDIS team member to do. They're my second favourite TARDIS team, but are only really properly utilised on TV in the Highlanders and Macroterra. Yeah, that's true. I love how a lot of these were very much the stars of the early adventures, I'd say. I think whenever there was a Ben, Polly, and Jamie story, we were excited for it.
Yeah, that is true.
And so, yeah, I think they have certainly come into their own a lot more on audio. And we're great on TV, to be fair, as well.
Especially with like the animations, you get a new appreciation for like the Polly, Ben.
Yeah, they're the stars of the animations, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Really. How many of their stories are partially or completely missing?
It is good. It is good to finally have that, and we can enjoy Faceless Ones and all that. Power of the Daleks. What ones have we had? Macroterra. That's never good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
That's where, if we're going back a bit, Moonbase and 10th Planet as well for those
two. What a cracker! What a cracker!
Miss Sponkcactus says, "I just ate, still hungry. Sad face. Eat some more.
Eat some more."
That's my advice for that. It's maybe not the best advice, but
there you go. I love Doctor Who books. Reading Deceit by Peter Darvill Evans. I've not read that one because I've not really delved into the Virgin New Adventures. NA books are very good. I did buy I think is it David Howell book about New Adventures, like the history of them, which I started reading over in December. I enjoyed it. That's a nice little coffee table book because it's full of pictures. So you can go, that's a nice pretty cover. Anyone hyped for Stranded 4? As I'm excited as hell.
I'm very hyped for it, to be honest.
I listened to a little bit of it on the Big Finish podcast. It's interesting hearing Colin as the curator.
Oh, he's doing all right with it.
He's doing all right.
He's got like that mischievous side of it that he doesn't get to do as much. He's distinct from his Doctor, which is nice.
Yeah. Stranded might be one of my favourite things to come from Doctor Who, said Payne Cyberman.
Oh, wow. That is a statement.
What was it more to say? I mean, I like Stranded. I do like Stranded.
I like how Stranded 4 seems to be going back round to that Stranded 1 and 2 style as well. Like, even literally in the case of they're travelling back to when those stories were.
I feel like I need to marathon Stranded. Hopefully do it this week before Stranded 4 comes out.
Yeah, that's your challenge.
That's my challenge, and maybe we'll do Stranded next week. I don't know what we're doing next week, but I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Might be waiting on James for that one, mightn't we?
Yeah, could wait.
We started Stranded with him, but we've left him behind a bit now.
We've left him behind with Stranded, but yeah, I thought as Payne Sideman, are you on where are you on the 8th Doctor Marathon? Are you on Dark Eyes Doom Coalition? Where are you at with your 8th Doctor Marathon? Be interesting to know where you are. Stranded 3 is amazing too. I know you two didn't vibe with it, but that's a much better set. I felt like it was going back to old experimental Big Finish. I enjoyed the experimental nature of Stranded 3. I will say that.
I think I enjoyed it more than you, actually. I'd say
you finished it.
I finished it for one thing. I'd say episode 2 I less so vibed with, but I think overall the set I did get a lot out of, especially what episode 4 was doing. I did really enjoy that, and gave me goosebumps at the end, I will say. Like worms. That is for those who have listened, you know what I'm saying there. Ben's confused, but
I'm just thinking of the worms my chickens eat. That's it. But yeah, I'll have to get around to Stranded again because I enjoyed the first 2 box sets.
But yeah, I suppose going back to something we mentioned earlier, the Doctor of War excerpt.
Yes.
I mean, it looks like that's going to be out the week after next alongside the Outlaws.
Oh, okay. We're having a double bill week, are we? That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to with how Chock-a-Block this month. We're in April. God. Yeah, because in the podcast they say that the next week's podcast will be War Doctor, Doctor of War, and Outlaws. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's not long away now. What did you make of it then?
It's a long, cold opening, but
yeah, it's about 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 9 minutes. Yeah. Like, honestly, it just shows the power of Unbound. Like, I don't know if it's a spoiler. Like, how deep can we go within it?
I say reasonably.
Can I say people die?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sarah and Harry die?
Yeah, like it's funny you think they brought Sadie Miller and Christopher Lader in just to do that.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, Tom's at least got a bit more to do.
Tom's blooming brilliant in it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly given it his all for a alternative regeneration. It feels wrong having him regenerate this early. because this is only his fourth story, really.
It makes me question: is this the timeline where the Big Finish lost stories of season 12 exist? Is it Return of the Cybermen? Whatever the arc is, it? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Doctor Who and the Ark.
Doctor Who and the Ark. Is this like the alternative season 12?
Yeah, certainly for alternatives, they're going for season 12, aren't they? Because
Yeah.
it's 3 lost stories worth, and now this.
Do you think is it what's the Dalek one called? Is it Genesis of Terror? I don't know what it's called.
Dalek's Genesis of Terror.
Like, are we gonna get like the regeneration in it?
I doubt it, to be honest. But
that'd be cool. Like, here's your what
I don't
if.
even know if it would have the do I have the right scene in it.
Yeah, probably won't. But
it's interesting hearing Tom gets to perform that again.
It's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's Unbound, so it's fine.
It works. It works.
Yeah, it's nice hearing him have a different take on it. Certainly, a lot of the rhythms hit the same, but there's certain moments that do hit a bit differently.
It's that scene.
He makes a different decision at the end.
Yeah, he's like, why wouldn't I? But yeah, it's such an interesting one just to listen to.
Yeah. I love how he even says, like, if I do this, I won't be the Doctor anymore. It's like it's instantly setting up this idea of a war.
Is this where I've been going all this time?
Yeah.
I
think I'm not. Yeah, I'm still not sold on why they chose Colin for this, especially now that we know it does go straight from Fourth Doctor to alternative Sixth or Fifth Doctor, technically, but it's played by Colin.
I think I still feel like I'd have preferred Davison.
Or maybe just a completely different actor in general, like someone who's not played the Doctor before. Give them a chance.
I can see why they're going with Colin, but I think Davison's it's somewhat polar opposite, I feel.
Yeah,
where it makes sense. Unless when we get Perry and stuff, it makes sense why it's Colin.
Yeah. But that's the other thing with Perry being in there as well. It feels
not American.
Odd. Yeah. Although she is in some parts of the trailer as well. She's playing multiple roles there. Yeah, and then after that we go to Iridius from The Chase.
Who wants that worst part of The Chase? Sorry.
It's got the, I love the commitment of the actor in this audio, who's really going for that same style of speaking as the Iridians have in The Chase, with the sun's died out, the ocean's dried. It's like that. It's always like that sing-song style of voice, like that ballet performance. You could just imagine him waving his arms around as he reads out all these lines. Yeah, I think it's a nice little bit at the end. Well, it's a small part of the excerpt because it is mostly that pre-title sequence with the regeneration, and so we only get a little bit of Colin, but he's doing a good job, I would say. Like, even though I'm not sold on why they went for Colin, more because I just think it would be nice to have a different actor to play in role again. That was like one of the draws of the Unbound, that you weren't limited by who played him on screen.
Yeah,
but I think he's made it distinct from the Sixth Doctor. Again, similar to what he's done with the Curator. It's its own character.
Yeah, apparently there's lots of sand. So if you're a fan of prequel Star Wars, then you're gonna have a fun time. But yeah, it definitely has whetted my appetite for Doctor of War. What did you think of the updated sort of spin of the Time War theme?
It wasn't too bad, I'd say.
I sort of feel like we've heard
so many Doctor Who themes by this point. I was like, have I heard this before, or is this completely new? I wasn't like 100% sure.
It had the same beats as the Time War theme, but it had like more of like the regeneration bit, and then it veered off into its own little thing after that, really.
Yeah.
Because the Time War theme, it's very similar to the Damaged Goods one for me. Like,
I think maybe just because they came out around the same time, we saw a similar mindset with it.
But yeah, I'm excited for this box set actually because it just sparks that. Ooh, this is going to be a wild ride. I mean, I know that you're not as sold on it. So you're like you say, you're a bit on the fence about it, but you're still going to pick it up.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's nice that we're getting a chance to breathe with an alternative timeline as well. Like a lot of the Unbound stuff, it is just that one and done story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so often you're trying to get as many
Warner
tropes in there as possible. Yeah. But even it took a while for David Warner though, because it wasn't until 2008, 5 years later, that we got Masters of War.
And
now we're getting a lot more of him with Bernice. But again, that was another 8 years between Masters of War and the Unbound universe.
Is it going to be another 8 years before we see more David Warner?
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years.
I recently went back to the New Adventures of Bernie Summerfield, actually.
Which one?
Volume 5, Buried Memories. I think I finally finished that set because I think I was going on about one story a year.
Wow.
How I listened to that. Luckily, they're all standalone, so I didn't have to like go back and catch up or anything. But yeah, it was a good time. I quite enjoyed that final episode. Paint Sideman says that Davison would be wild as an alternative War Doctor. I don't know if it could work, honestly. I think it could. Like, if you look at Davison's acting beyond beyond Doctor Who, he has a very wide range, and he has played quite a few villains, so to speak.
He's good as the villain in Eternal Summer and Dalek Soul.
Yeah.
And I think why I say Davison is because he's so polar opposite. The War Doctor is so polar opposite to what you get with the Fifth Doctor. Whereas I feel
like Colin's already got like that darker streak in him, hasn't he?
Yeah. So that's why it doesn't feel too far a jump to go Colin as the War Doctor. Whereas I say if you say Davison, you're like, yeah, that's a wild card, but I'm here for it.
I suppose the thing at Colin's more available, isn't he? Really, like he's doing so much for them at the moment.
True.
Whereas I think Davison's schedule might be a bit more limited. He's still doing a fair bit in TV. I know Janet Fielding just today or yesterday came out on Twitter to say that they often have to fit Big Finish recordings around Davison's 2 other jobs that he's got going on. So
I mean, they've recorded some more, haven't they? I think only a couple of weeks ago or this week.
Have they?
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
So I think Janet said, "Oh yeah, I had a belter of a Big Finish script." So I'm like, okay, so we're getting Tegan next year.
Yeah. I imagine it must be next year's 5th Doctor Ventures, because 40 itself was recorded quite far in advance. That was
unless we're getting more Davison this year, unless it's for a future Davison set, but most likely for next year.
Yeah, it does feel like for his 40th anniversary year, we've only got the 2 40 box sets at the moment with him. Whereas, I mean, yeah, McGann's getting more than him.
Yeah.
And McGann used to be the Doctor we were cut short on. David Tennant got more than him last year.
Blimey heck, yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be far off this year.
No, he's not. I mean, I say 2020 was a good time for McGann. You know, you had the Time Lord Victoria stuff, Stranded, War Master, plenty McGann.
Yeah, definitely.
Where else are we in the old chat?
Bucket Think Tank says Sylvester as the Doctor of War, I think, would have been a bit more interesting because we all kind of feel at one point he could have been that dark one, answering the question of Seventh Doctor in Time War in a way. No,
Oh,
I'd be certainly interested. I think he wouldn't be different enough from who he is anyway, though. It's my only.
I mean, if the Seventh Doctor was
drawback there.
if the Seventh Doctor was in the Time War would be over in a second.
I think it's nice that we start to see the more manipulative side of the War Doctor in Warbringer, though.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
But with more of like a moral compass behind it, like he does feel. But I can't remember if it was the last. I think it must have been a stream before last, or maybe it was in our little after call session. We were talking about it.
It's like they all blend into one.
Yeah, it all blends into one eventually. You mentioned wanting to revisit Curse of Fenric.
Yes, yeah.
I think you got me in the mood for that because I ended up doing that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny to think that a lot of the manipulative Seventh Doctor we got in expanded media came from that story. When a lot of it feels like the writers of expanded media misunderstanding that final confrontation where the Seventh Doctor manipulates Ace into losing faith in him and sort of think, oh, that's the real Seventh Doctor. When the real Seventh Doctor is immediately after, when he apologizes to Ace, all that, and that's to explain that he needed to find a way to break her faith in him in order to defeat Fenric and unleash the Ancient One.
I mean, I'm excited to actually just marathon the McCoy stuff when we finally do the Seventh Doctor. Much like what we're doing with the Third Doctor, just go through it. Because I've never properly sat down and watched Doctor Who All in Order, and we're not marathoning all of it, but it'd be interesting to see the beginning and the end of McCoy.
We probably could marathon because it's quite short.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You could marathon McCoy easily, so I'm tempted just to watch it all in order.
Yeah, I might do that as well, especially since we got 2/3 of it already on Blu-rays. Yeah,
so that's our next little project sorted.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be coming to an end tomorrow. The Third Doctor one.
No, Tuesday, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're Sunday at the moment.
Yeah, we're Sunday.
Yeah, 2 days away. It'll be that'll all be coming to an end.
And then don't know when we start the Seventh Doctor one. Maybe 2 weeks time. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to watch the season as we get on.
Maybe that'd be good around June time with Silver and Ice.
Yeah, I mean, if we start watching now, we should be ready in time for June.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? We did this one in September. It's now coming out March to April. So if we do one now, we could probably get out by September, October time.
I mean, it will celebrate Time of the Rani because that kick-started in September.
Would that be 35 years?
It's got to be rough. Yeah, it would be, because it was 30th anniversary in 2017, so yeah.
Funny. Yeah.
There we go.
Time's flying.
Time's flying. It's scary.
Yeah. But there was once a time when the McCoy era was only 25 years old, and we were there to remember that.
Yeah. Damn. Mental. I remember when Survival came out on DVD.
Did you see the photos of the Wales Comic Con with Davison? And he's not that
not that special.
Not that special. Yeah.
It makes me happy that a meme was made in the Shire. Because literally, just the thought that happened literally down the road from me makes me very happy. Makes me sad that I couldn't go and see it live, but there we go.
Next year.
Next year, I'll be there.
Maybe I'll join you. Maybe we could do a vlog.
Yeah, why not? And we can do a live stream. Do a live. Yeah, why not? That'd be cool.
Did you see someone also edited what is it? Peter Davison's head now onto Richard Herndl's body back in the.
Yeah, I saw that. That was mental.
He could probably do a more convincing First Doctor than that.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Been rewatching The Wheel in Space, and honestly, so great. Part 1 is one of the best opening episodes of all the classic Doctor Who. The rest is great. Third best Troughton Cyberman story. Ooh.
Oh,
That's a bold statement, but hey, there we go.
Each their own.
Each their own. We respect all opinions here. 7 was Manipulative and Remembrance, Silver Nemesis, Battlefield, and Ghostlight as well. I guess, yeah. But I guess Remembrance and Silver Nemesis sort of blur into one, really, because
it's the same manipulative strategy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get them to even blow up their own.
Would you say the early manipulation of the Seventh Doctor was in Paradise Towers? When he's getting the keys from, like, the caretakers?
Yeah, that's true. And then it doesn't feel like... Yeah. It still feels Doctor-y, though. Like, that's not... It's not like it's unique to the Seventh Doctor. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure... Well, the 10th Doctor often had a couple of moments. I can't... One in specific's not coming to mind, but like he has that whole thing of, you know, I'll give you this one chance, and if not, you know, I'll stop you. And I heard of something where he immediately does it straight after. But I can't.
Was it Sycorax? Well, then I'm not second chances, because that was a whole thing of like series that was second chances.
Yeah, but even that, I swear there was one where it was much more like a wider defeat of them. I mean, maybe a bit of human nature as well, but maybe that's cheesy because that was originally 7th Doctor. But that's got quite a dark end.
I was just thinking in Happiness Patrol when he's with, like, is it like the assassin is like, oh, pull that trigger, end my life.
End my life. That's a meme as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good 7th Doctor moment. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the 10th Doctor moment you think of.
Yeah. But certainly, the 2nd Doctor goes along with a bomb and sneaks onto the Dominator's ship.
So... I think the 2nd Doctor... there's something about the impish Doctor and like the hobo Doctors that there's that darkness to him. Like even 11, I say Matt Smith's Doctor's pretty dark.
Oh, he's probably darker than 7 on
yeah,
TV.
I'd say 11's probably darker than McCoy on TV, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like Tomb of the Cybermen, that's certainly one of the more manipulative. That's like the first bit of proper manipulative Doctor, isn't it? So he tricks them into opening a tomb and such. Technically, 7 manipulates everyone in Paradise Towers to team up. No, true.
Pex lives. 7 has a caring side to him, but also likes to scheme and plan ahead to save those he cares about. The Hex arc shows this best. He's compassionate and helps his friends, even side characters.
I think that was one of the things I liked about The Displaced, a recent 7th Doctor story. Well, I say recent, it's nearing 2 years old now. But yeah, there's sort of like Ace and Hex are quite mistrusting of the Doctor in that story, thinking he must be scheming something, he must be behind whatever's going on in this house. He's completely innocent. And that is like revealed at the end. But it's interesting how you got these two characters mistrusting him throughout when he's not responsible for any of them.
Oh, mental.
Yeah, if you haven't picked that one, maybe Flying Dutchman would be fitting to revisit with Legend of the Sea Devils.
I was thinking it. Are they going to do like a little twist on the Flying Dutchman and it's the Sea Devils?
Yeah, it seems to be like that flying, glowing ship.
I just thought of SpongeBob, to be honest. You know, but yeah, it's all good.
One of my dream stories is still 7 and 11 doing something on Big Finish.
Out of Time 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, yeah, we've had the 10th Doctor with enough classic Doctors. Get the the 11th Doctor to interact with one of them instead.
7 and 10, honestly, would be fascinating. I bet 10 would sort of be disgusted by 7, but also see much more of himself in it take place after Waters of Mars. I think maybe 7, 10, and Ice Warriors I'd be down for.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like 7 and 10 would have suited the Weeping Angels if that wasn't already taken.
Yeah, that'd been good.
Yeah. Mate, forget that. We need some Big Finish stories on how the Doctor ended up in Fortnite as Mr. Bond characters.
I'm sure there'll be a TARDIS wiki article about that.
What was that 14th Doctor slot revealed as in the end?
Do I look like a person who plays Fortnite? Do I look like I've ever played Fortnite? No, I don't know. Like, I think that's another thing with like Doctor Who fans who kicked off about the Fortnite thing. Like, not everything has to be catered for you.
No,
you don't have to explore everything Doctor Who, because as soon as you realise that you don't have to, your life becomes so much more simpler.
I think it also is quite promising for the brand that Fortnite wants to be associated with Doctor Who.
Yeah, they're not going, oh, please, like Funko Pops or anything. Yeah, it's good for the marketing.
I think this is also a game that a lot of children play.
Yeah.
And so it will hopefully connect to that audience in a way that the bizarre EVE Online crossover didn't, because that is much more of a grown-up game, I'd say. Not in terms of content, but just in terms of, to play it, you've got to have a lot of patience, it seems, and it is quite interface intensive and such. It's not just a simple shooter. It is a big strategy game from what I can tell. And so I think a lot of the people there were sort of a bit confused by why Doctor Who was in it.
Yeah.
They weren't really caring. Whereas Fortnite already has a lot of these bizarre things in there. And I mean, you will be disgusted to hear that some people refer to it as the Mandalorian from Fortnite.
Yeah, I was just going to say Mando's part of Fortnite.
Yeah, Thanos part of Fortnite. I think they had a whole Spider-Man No Way Home crossover. So the fact that Doctor Who's mixing amongst all of those heavy hitters.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Doctor Who gets so compared to like Disney Plus and like Marvel. Why isn't Doctor Who doing that? Well, we're in that category now. We're in Fortnite together.
Yeah, we are bonded by blood.
Oh, man.
Great brands are forged in fire, and it is the privilege of lesser brands to light the flame.
That's the 60th anniversary, the Fortnite special.
Yeah, what if the 60th anniversary is just RTD sat playing Fortnite, giving a commentary?
Kildamage, Davros, Kildamage. Oh, man. Oh, man.
I'd be down for it.
Honestly, I'd be down for like Russell T Davies on Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Yeah. That'd be great.
I wonder, if any like creative person was to cameo in Doctor Who, I feel like it would be nice for Russell. You know, like how we have Jon Favreau in The Mandalorian and such, and like Dave Filoni gets his little cameos. It would be great just to have Russell in there as a random. I mean, Derek Sherwin's done it, so
yeah. Well, half the blooming Morbius Doctors are production people.
Yeah,
Philip Hinchcliffe.
We could even have Russell as a pre-Hartnell Doctor.
Kildamage. Oh,
please.
Oh.
I think, is that a good place to end it?
I'm just reading the chat. I'd lose my shit if I heard Russell T Davies says PogChamp. RTD can start every stream. Hello, I'm Russell the Davis here. Oh man, I want to be in that time. I mean, we could be in that timeline for all I know. Hopefully it is. But yeah, what a time to be alive. Yeah. Russell T Davies could be playing Fortnite. Yeah.
We could have the glasses meme in video form.
Yeah.
The name's Russell. No, the name's Davis. Flicks glasses down. Russell the Davis.
Kildamage. Oh, great stuff. like you say, I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. Kill the March audience.
Kill the Marsh. Kill the Marsh. As for our Kill the Marsh extreme for next week, no idea what it'll be.
I mean, perhaps Damaged Goods and Mind of the Hodiak.
Yeah, because you've got to pick up Mind of the Hodiak, so it could be a Kill the Marsh special. So it could be that. Yeah, I think it'll probably be Russell T. Davis, wouldn't it? Probably the Russell, the RTD.
Russell the T.
Russell the T. So next week I think we'll be on Friday, probably Friday. So we'll see you next Friday for a review where it begun for the Davis Russell.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, where we take a look at Damaged Goods and the Mind of the Hodiak.
Hopefully, we're not contractually obligated to fulfill our promises stated at the end of a live stream, as we've missed a couple before, but for the most part, we deliver.
I mean, I had a valid reason of not doing a stream Friday.
Yeah, I understand. And thank you also if you voted for the Forsaken.
Yeah,
or just voted in the poll in general.
Yeah,
thank you for taking part.
Hopefully, we can do maybe like one fan vote a month. Maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah,
get you all involved.
More audience participation.
Yeah, like I say, if you want us to do a Rufus Hound tier list, 50 likes. If you want the Black Hole review, which I'm sure everyone does. I can't believe I just said that. 20 likes. Go on, get it done. Get it done if you want that. But yeah, there we go. Thank you everyone for joining us. I know we're on Sunday, but yeah, thank you for taking your time and joining us on this fine Sunday night, and we'll see you very soon. We'll see you Tuesday for season 11 from Us in the Past from
us
September.
Back in September.
Yeah. Before we knew Sea Devils were a thing.
So
yeah, goodbye everyone.
Take care everyone. We appreciate you all, whether you are just lurking there listening to our thoughts or if you are participating in the chat. Thank you for all your input into our streams.
We appreciate you all for taking your time, and we will see you very soon. So peace out from Ben the Morris and Luke the TARDIS Guy.
Kill the Marsh, everyone.
Kill the Marsh.